So the experience of producing and posting my own video on YouTube has most interesting experiences, resulted in more questions than I had originally anticipated. So I find now that I have the original set of questions that I was seeking to pursue answers for, as well as a new set of questions that have resulted directly from my participation in it. And so I'm thinking now that I might actually have to either expand upon my original questions or have two series of questions. One that is soliciting, input or feedback from experienced YouTube users and viewers to my questions about how this technology is being used to transform social interaction, but as well now a set of questions that come from my own experiences in posting YouTube videos, and to see if other people have experienced similar things, or if they find that how it might be transforming them as an individual. So I'm going to do separate videos for each of my questions, and I'll start with the questions that I had originally looked to get answers to, and then I'll do second questions that emerge from my own experiences. So I'll be doing two question ones, or I might just integrate them and number them sequentially. But let's start with this one. This is my first question that I originally was trying to understand, and that was the question of what is the impetus for using YouTube to post. And I'm going to start with certain presuppositions about the viewership on YouTube, people who visit the channels, and suggest that there are basically two groups of people. There are people who are viewers, and then there are people who are, for lack of a better term, producers. And that is largely ignoring the category of people who are just reposting videos that were made by someone else, or clips off of shows, or things like that. I mean individuals who are creating, producing, and posting things with either themselves or other people in them. So if we simplify it and suggest that there's viewers and that there are users of it, people who actually post to it, then we're going to suggest then that there is a transformation or a transition that takes place from somebody who is merely watching videos on YouTube to actually posting on YouTube. And I think that for every individual there has to be a certain tipping point, to borrow a term from Malcolm Gladwell's book, The Tipping Point. I'll put a link in the sidebar if anybody is, I'm not sure what, I think the sidebar is going to be on that side. If anyone's interested in reading Malcolm Gladwell's book, it's an interesting read. So I think that the tipping point that propels somebody from being a YouTube watcher to actually posting is, as with everything, the result of a complicated series of factors, both internal and external. I'm going to focus mostly on the internal ones and largely ignore the external ones, like access to necessary hardware or things like that. And so I question, where is that individual set point? I think that it's a combination of a want to express oneself for some purpose, and it's kind of in balance with a set of it's not fears, but demotivational factors that kind of prevent somebody from wanting to go out there. So, for example, using myself, the reason I finally resorted to stop watching YouTube and actually start to produce videos was because I had questions about what I was seeing and thinking about that I wasn't getting answers that I found satisfactory, and so I felt that the only way that I could actually get answers that satisfied me is if I actually went out there and used the medium as a means of provoking other people to give me answers. And of course that resulted in some other things which I'm going to talk about in another video, but that was my want. I wanted answers to questions I had, and I felt that this was the way of getting my answers. But there must be other series of wants. I mean, I'm sure that people who produce humorous skits and post those on YouTube, they want to express their creativity. They want to share it with others, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to try to understand what is the purpose that you find in posting. What was the want that propelled you to actually create your first video and to post it. I mean, I know that YouTube has a series of categories for people, like producer, director, comedian, blog, personality, this kind of stuff. But I find that those probably are not largely reflective of what people may be doing with them. Now, as I said, I've already received answers from some YouTubers, and YouTubers sounds like a root vegetable, and that's great. It gives me somewhere to start with. But I'm wondering, because there's such a variety of YouTube styles and YouTube postings out there, that I wonder if there's a simple set of categories that we might find that everybody might fall into, seeking answers or seeking expression and those kinds of things. And the corollary to that is what's preventing other people. So if you're not a poster but you're merely a viewer, why haven't you posted? Has nothing been compelling enough to the point that you feel you really need to jump in there and kind of express yourself? Or what would it take to get you to post? In other words, what if you think about it for a moment? What issue or what would have to go on in your life? What would you have to see on YouTube that suddenly would you say, well, I'm going to make that transition myself from a viewer to a producer and a poster? So that's my first question. My first question is, what internal factors compelled you, if you were a poster, or do you feel would compel you, if you've not yet produced and posted a video, to post on YouTube? And what internal factors may have made you more reluctant, factors that had to kind of drop in balance to get you to that tipping point where you transition from viewer to poster? And so that's my first question. As I said before, I think it's it's an interesting phenomenon, and I really hope that some of you will get a chance to respond to me, either in comments or maybe make a video, or on my blog, where I'll post some of these questions, where I will be posting some of these questions as well. So thank you very much, and have a nice day.